Have you ever wondered how a dish that was literally just created to save some leftover, dried up tandoori chicken ended up becoming the most popular Indian dish on the entire planet? I know, right? It was basically a brilliant accident. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to unpack all the juicy secrets behind this iconic dish. So, in today's deep dive, we're not just going to talk about that creamy, mouth-watering taste. Oh no, we're going to dive headfirst into its fascinating history, a surprisingly intense modern-day legal drama, and stick around until the end because I'm going to give you the ultimate, authentic blueprint so you can make this masterpiece perfectly right in your own kitchen. All right, let's get into it. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the accidental masterpiece, then move into the great debate, followed by butter chicken versus tikka masala. Then we'll hit the ultimate recipe guide and wrap things up with some pro tips and modern twists. Part 1. The accidental masterpiece. The origins of Murg Makhani. Okay, picture this. That rich, smoky aroma and that vibrant, silky orange-red gravy that just instantly makes you hungry. Officially, we call this Murg Makhani. It's a mild, sweet, and tangy Indian dish where perfectly tender tandoori chicken pieces are simmered in a ridiculously rich, silky gravy made mainly of tomatoes, butter, and cream. And hey, the butter, that is the absolute magic ingredient here. It's what gives the gravy that signature velvety smooth texture. And because it's not overly spicy, it's pretty much a universal favorite for all ages. But here's the crazy part. This masterpiece was actually a total accident. Back in the 1930s, when leftover tandoori chicken would get too dry to serve, cooks needed a way to save it from the trash. So they just tossed it into this rich tomato and butter gravy. It wasn't just a culinary save, though. It actually became this perfect, delicious symbol of refugee resilience during the partition. You know, maximizing flavor from incredibly limited resources. Part 2, the great debate, Peshawar, partition, and the courts. Now let's shift gears from flavor to a little bit of history and, honestly, a fair bit of drama. Because wherever there's global fame, you better believe there are people fighting over who owns it. Back in the 1920s, Kundan Lal Gujral and Kundan Lal Jaggi opened the Moti Mahal restaurant in Peshawar, putting tandoori chicken on the map. Then, after the 1947 partition, both families fled to Delhi and started a new Moti Mahal in Daryaganj, where butter chicken absolutely exploded in popularity through the 1950s. Fast forward to 1975, and the name butter chicken actually hits print on a menu for the first time at the Gaylord restaurant all the way in New York. But here is the wild twist. Cut to 2024, and the Gujral and Jaggi families are literally battling it out in court over who actually invented it. The Gujrals claim their ancestor invented it in Peshawar in the 30s, while the Jaggi say they perfected the recipe after moving to Delhi. Heck, even Pakistani media claims it as their own. We're absolutely not taking sides here, but it just goes to show you how intensely loved and fiercely contested this dish really is. Moving on to part 3, butter chicken versus tikka masala, the great mix-up. So many people get these two dishes mixed up globally, so let's set the record straight once and for all. Butter chicken, or Murg Makhani, has authentic North Indian origins dating back to the 1930s. It uses a fresh tomato puree, butter, and cream base. It always starts with tandoori chicken, and it has a much richer, silkier texture. Chicken tikka masala, on the other hand, that's actually a British invention, created in Glasgow in the 1970s. It uses a heavier tomato paste base and has a noticeably sweeter taste profile. They are completely distinct, separate dishes entirely. Both are amazing, no doubt, but now you know the real difference. Part 4, the ultimate recipe guide, the blueprint. Okay, grab your notepads. First up, the marination essentials. For 1 kilo of boneless chicken, you are going to need 1 cup of full-fat dahi, or yogurt, 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and, crucially, 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri lal mirch. That Kashmiri chili powder is the absolute secret to getting that vibrant orange-red color, without burning your tongue off. Add in half a teaspoon of turmeric, some salt, a couple of tablespoons of oil, a teaspoon of crushed kasuri methi, and 1 teaspoon each of garam masala, cumin, and coriander powder. This is your foundation, people. This is where all that initial flavor gets locked in. Next up, the makhani gravy. This is where the real magic happens. You'll need 4 to 5 large pureed tomatoes, 4 to 5 tablespoons of butter, and a full cup of fresh cream. You also need cashew paste, made from soaking about 10 to 12 cashews, which is going to give the gravy this unbelievable intense richness. You can optionally add an onion and some ginger garlic paste along with your basic spices, but here is the absolute game changer. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Seriously, do not skip this. That sugar perfectly balances the tartness of the tomatoes to give you that well-rounded, restaurant-quality taste. Let's pull it all together in 4 simple steps. Step 1, marinate that chicken for at least 2 hours. Overnight in the fridge is even better. The longer it sits, the more deeply flavored it gets. Step 2, cook it tandoori style. You can pop it in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes, or just sear it on a pan over a high flame until you get that beautiful charred, smoky look. Step 3, build the gravy. Sauté your spices in butter, add the tomato puree, cook it down for about 10 minutes, then stir in your cashew paste. Step 4, the grand finale. Toss your tandoori chicken into the gravy, pour in the fresh cream, add a sprinkle of kasuri methi and that magic dash of sugar, and just let the whole glorious thing simmer for 2 minutes. And boom, you're done. And you want to know the best part? The total time it takes to make this masterpiece from scratch is just 1.5 hours. Yep, just an hour and a half of your time and you've got a globally famous restaurant-level dish sitting right on your dining table. It really is that easy.
Finally, part 5, pro tips and modern twists, the mastery and legacy.
So you've got the recipe, but how do we elevate this from just a good dinner to an unforgettable experience? Rule number 1, never, ever skimp on the butter or cream. I mean it. This is not diet food. The butter is literally the soul of the dish. Second, when you add the kasuri methi, make sure to crush it between your palms first. This releases maximum aroma. If your gravy gets a little too thick or dry while cooking, don't panic. Just rescue it with a splash of milk or water. And here is my absolute favorite pro tip. Butter chicken always, and I mean always, tastes better the next day. Letting those flavors mingle in the fridge overnight takes it to a whole new level. Now, if you really want to show off, you've got to try the Dungar method. This is a brilliant traditional Indian cooking technique. You basically take a hot piece of charcoal, place it in a small bowl right in the middle of your cooked dish, drizzle a little ghee over it, and immediately cover the pot as the smoke rises. The smoke completely infuses into the gravy and the chicken. It gives you that incredibly authentic, smoky restaurant flavor right at home, perfectly mimicking a traditional clay tandoor oven. You absolutely have to try this.
But what's really cool is seeing how adaptable this dish has become, especially with the huge global boom since the 2000s. If you're vegan, it's super easy to swap the chicken for paneer, tofu, or soya chunks, and trade the dairy cream for coconut cream. Looking for a lower fat option? Just cut back on the butter and swap the cream for Greek yogurt. And the fusion options? Oh man, they are wild. We're talking butter chicken pizza, tacos, pasta, and even poutine. It just goes to show how insanely versatile that makhani base really is. To wrap things up, butter chicken is truly more than just a dish. It's a story of history, migration, and culinary creativity. I mean, think about it. A dish born out of the hardships of partition, literally created to stop leftover food from going to waste, has somehow conquered the entire culinary world with its richness. It is not just a recipe, it's a completely edible piece of history. So, my final question to you is this. How are you going to put your own twist on this culinary history in your kitchen? Are you going to try out that smoky Dungar method, or maybe whip up a crazy fusion butter chicken pizza for your friends? Take this blueprint, make it your own, and keep exploring the incredible world of food history. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer. Happy cooking, and I'll catch you next time.